Welcome to BNews Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNews Director Rich Hosford, BNews reporter Chris Flaherty, Peter Brown with the weather, Ian Casciola with the Community Bulletin Board, and Marge McDonald with Senior News. Thank you for joining us. The Middlesex District Attorney's Office has announced the latest grand jury indictments, and 3 men accused of passing counterfeit money are on the list. According to the DA's office, Michael Atkins, 20 of Brooklyn, New York, was charged with possession of 10 counterfeit notes, uttering counterfeit notes, being a common utterer of counterfeit notes, and conspiracy. Ibrima Ducare, 21 of the Bronx, New York, was charged with possession of over 10 counterfeit notes, and the rest and conspiracy. Inua Brahma, 21 of the Bronx, New York, was charged with possessing over 10 counterfeit notes and conspiracy. On Wednesday, November 16, 2016, just before 2:30 p.m., officers responded to Bed Bath & Beyond, 3 Abbott Park, for a report of 2 males attempting to purchase goods with a counterfeit $100 bill. Upon arrival, officers learned that the suspects had fled the scene when confronted by a store clerk. At 3 p.m., Burlington police received another report of male suspects passing counterfeit bills at the paper store, 43 Middlesex Turnpike, approximately 1 block away from Bed Bath & Beyond. Officers arrived and confronted the suspects and arrested the 3 men. A 4th suspect fled the scene. The Board of Selectmen discussed and rejected a proposal to remove do not enter signs from Church Lane that restrict morning traffic during a packed meeting on Monday. Approximately 50 residents of the Church Lane neighborhood, which includes people living off side streets, were at the meeting to voice their opposition to the removal of the signs that restrict traffic from Cambridge Street between the hours of 7 to 9 a.m. The issue was brought up at the last Board of Selectmen meeting when a resident asked that the board consider removing the signs. She pointed to Selectmen minutes in the 1990s when the Board of Selectmen voted to keep the signs in place until sidewalks were installed on the road. The reason the resident said she was seeking the removal of the restriction was to ease congestion at the town center lights during the morning rush hour. On Monday night, 3 residents of the Church Lane neighborhood spoke on behalf of the gathered crowd against the removal of the signs. They said the neighborhood has many small children who stand at the bus stops during that time of the morning. Church Lane also runs along Simons Park, which brings people to the area who either walk or park on the side of the road. They said it was a decision of convenience or safety. Church Lane the park is one of the more intensely used pieces of property in the town. The residents also argued that opening up Church Lane in the morning wouldn't solve the congestion problem. They said it would just move some of the problems to the intersection of Church Lane and Bedford Street. Members of the Board of Selectmen agreed with the Church Lane residents in the end, but they did have some discussion about it. In the end, nobody on the board made a motion to remove the do not enter restriction. Selectman Bob Hogan went a step further and made a motion saying it was the board's wish that the restriction remain in place forever. The vote on the motion was 3-0-2, with Selectmans Hartling and Runyon abstaining. Operation Home Ties, the mobile exhibit featuring portraits of fallen men and women of service, starting with those ties to Massachusetts and have served since 9/11/01, was on display at a recent meeting at the Burlington Historical Society. BNews reporter Chris Flaherty spoke with Gina Johnson, artist and creator of the exhibit, and he delivers this report.
Earlier this month, the Burlington Historical Society hosted an event with artist Gina Johnson, creator of Operation Home Ties. The mobile exhibit features portraits of fallen men and women of service, starting with those who have ties to Massachusetts and have served since September 11th. I spoke with Gina on how the idea for the project came about.
I have drawn pictures my whole life, and especially not being afraid of death. I have helped people overcome loss. But in December of 2007, I happened to be looking online and saw that on Channel 5 they had a compiled list, an honor roll, of all our Massachusetts servicemen and women who had passed away. The lucky part of it was that there were links to articles and the obituary pictures, and so I not only could look them right in the eye, but I could read the words of their families. And what I saw repeated in the articles was parents saying they didn't want their son or daughter to be forgotten.
With hundreds of faces on display on the wall, I asked Gina how long it takes her to draw each portrait.
I can do them quickly. I'm saying I'm lucky to have so many people that help me now. They will supply me with pictures. When I get given a picture, sometimes it's last minute and they want it before the service, and I've overnighted it. I've done it quickly, just sit down and draw the picture. So within an hour, I can usually sketch out a picture.
Gina gave me some insight into what it takes to get the wall up and moving.
The wall is very good. I have it down to a science, and it's in 3 canisters, and actually I just got another container that looks just like what I have to put my signage in, and it makes it easier with wheels. The wall itself is a trade show wall, and those are made very, very easily, to set up and take down. I was lucky enough to have Gold Star dad, Arthur McDonald. He really went to bat for me to try to get one because I knew I couldn't afford one. When I first started, I was renting them, and I really couldn't afford that money. Him being able to get this wall was just a treasure.
Operation Home Ties has been touring from town to town throughout Massachusetts the past few years, and with the popularity of the exhibit, there doesn't seem to be any sign of slowing down.
We've got a lot of places, and as I said, the mission is amazing in that I have never asked to go anywhere. I go to an event and somehow it's paid forward. Someone will say, I'm going to have an event here. Each time I visit someone, another event would come out of it. So it's really paid it forward because I made a personal promise that I wanted to honor their memory at least once a month, and I've been lucky since 2007.
Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNews Weekly.
The Burlington Council on Aging is inviting members of the public to hear details about an upcoming project to renovate one town building and make changes to the senior center in the Human Services building. A notice from the COA states that Town Administrator John Petrin will be at the Senior Center on Tuesday, March 28th at 10 a.m. to talk about the renovation project at 33 Center Street next to Town Hall and the Senior Center. That's the old Bank of Burlington Bank and Trust, excuse me. In May of 2015, town meeting appropriated $1,650,000 to renovate the town-owned building at 33 Center. The plan presented to town meeting was to convert the bank into office space and move the health department and Burlington Youth and Family Services out of the Human Resources building to the new location. Petrin said this will free up space for programs for the Recreation Department and the Council on Aging, which are both located in the Human Services building and subsequently would share the property. The talk at the Senior Center on March 28th is open to all residents, and of course admission is free. As part of our Burlington Town election special coverage, we held debates with the candidates for Board of Selectmen and Town Moderator that will be playing on our government channel all next week. Here is a clip from the Selectmen's debate featuring the candidates' opening remarks.
Being involved in the community is something that it really comes natural to me. It's something I have done half of my life. First with my children and their activities, and then in the town. It all started with the town meeting in 1972. This year is no different than other years. I'm inspired to run to help address some of the important issues facing the town. Too many years I have challenged and voiced my concern about the town, the finances, environment, health insurance, the continuous dwindling of our state funds, overbuilding in Burlington, liquor licenses, the zoning bylaws, overburdening our water supply, these and many other things, including the marijuana. They all concern me. Thank you.
I've been a resident of Burlington for 50 years, and I plan on staying here. I love this town. I not only grew up in this town, I grew up with this town. Burlington is a great place to raise a family, and other people wish they could live here. I've always given back to my hometown, and I see running for selectman as a natural next step. In addition to my volunteer efforts over the past 20 years, I've coached baseball, been a PTO president, been a Rotary president, a 10-year town meeting member, and I'm currently a member of the Zoning Board of Appeals. My professional and personal background confirms that I love serving this community, and I've always done so with the residents' best interest in mind. And I would be honored to serve as your next selectman.
I've never run for elected office before. This is my first foray really into politics. The last time I ran for anything was ninth grade, student council. Initially what brought me to seek out the Board of Selectmen's seat was other members of town meeting approached me and they asked me to consider throwing my hat into the ring and running for the position based on my activities in the town as a town meeting member and also my activities in seeking the appointment and being appointed to the Ways and Means Committee, which is the fiscal committee for the town. And then also I'm on the school department subcommittee. So I welcome the opportunity to serve Burlington further. I did not grow up in this town, but I love this town. My husband and I chose it. It's a wonderful place. Burlington's great and it can get greater. I aim to do that.
Look for the full debate starting next week on our government channel, which is 99 for Comcast, 41 for Verizon, and 15 for RCN. There were a lot of, this marks the 105th anniversary of the Girl Scouts and the 100th year of their cookie sales. To celebrate, Burlington Scouts held a Girl Scout Day, and BNEWS Director Rich Hosford went to check it out. He files this report.
The cafeteria at Francis Wyman Elementary School was alive with the sounds of singing, recitation, and ceremony last Sunday as Girl Scouts from all of Burlington's troops gathered for an afternoon of singing, crafts, and snacks to celebrate a milestone in the organization's history, the 105th anniversary of its founding.
Today it's Girl Scout Sunday, so we've already had two different opportunities for the girls to participate. In the morning they go to their different places of faith where they are participating at their churches, and then this afternoon we have a fun activity where we just celebrate the birthday of Girl Scouting, where we celebrate 105 years that Girl Scouts has been going on since Juliette Lowe founded her first troop in 1912. So the girls come together and they take part in a lot of the traditions that Girl Scouts are known for, doing crafts, singing songs, and just being with friends and having a good time.
This year also marks the 100th anniversary of the Girl Scouts' iconic cookie sales, though back in the beginning, the troops had to bake the cookies themselves. The funds from cookie sales go towards a variety of things, including trips, troop activities, and camp nights. Those activities and everything to do with the Girl Scouts is meant to help the girls grow to be stronger people, better leaders, and more responsible citizens.
So the mission of Girl Scouting is for them to be building girls of courage, confidence, and character, and they do that by following the promise and law. And the Girl Scout law is just kind of a list of 10 different qualities and traits that everybody should be striving for every day. So they're learning to be honest and fair, friendly and helpful, considerate and caring, courageous and strong, responsible for what they say and do, being respectful to themselves and others, respectful to authority, using resources wisely, making the world a better place, and then being a sister to every Girl Scout. So all of those things are just kind of a nice moral code for the girls to be learning to be a good citizen.
I also had the chance to talk to some of the girls about what they like best about being a Girl Scout.
And can you tell me your names?
Aisha.
Aisha and?
Aiko.
Aiko, all right, very nice. And can you just sort of tell me what some of the favorite things that you do here with the Girl Scouts?
I like to do crafts.
You like to do the crafts, and how about you?
I like how we get to go on camps and places we haven't been before.
And tell me something that you've learned from being in the Girl Scouts.
That you can make new friends.
Make new friends, that's good. How about you?
That you can do anything as long as you set your mind to it.
So tell me some of the favorite things that you do with the Girl Scouts.
Well, I love how we get to go someplace new every week or so. I mean, like, once we went horseback riding, that's probably one of my favorite times that we've ever gone somewhere.
Great, and how about you? What's one of your favorite things?
I like camping and spending time with the troop.
What is something that you've learned from being a Girl Scout?
Well, to be, like, loyal and stick to your troop. And
Loyal and stick to your troop, and how about you?
trusting, like, who you can trust and, like, standing up to bullies.
Finally, if you think your daughter would like to join, it's an easy process and can be done right online.
So we have a website for burlingtongirlscouts.org, and you could also just go onto the Girl Scouts of Eastern Massachusetts website, which is gsem.org, I believe, and they can register their girls online. We do all online registration now, and the season runs from September to September, so girls could still participate in camps. We get a lot of girls who register this time of year because they can enroll in summer camps, sleepaway camps, day camps while parents are working. So this is another popular time where we see a boost in registrations come up right now.
And here's one final message from the Scouts.
Okay.
At Francis Wyman Elementary School, I'm BNews Director Rich Hosford.
There were a lot of young faces at Town Hall on Monday during the Board of Selectmen meeting who were there for a good cause. Representatives from Marshall Simons Middle School's Teen Light Club were at the meeting to get permission to use the town common for their 9th annual Walk for Teen Light. Teen Light is a community service program that develops young leaders and promotes community service while raising awareness about issues affecting teens. Each year, the students choose a cause and raise money throughout the year to help teens in need. Since being founded 8 years ago, the program has raised approximately $100,000 for causes that affect teens, including depression, child abuse, bullying, autism, poverty, mental health issues, and illnesses such as cancer. On Monday, 20 middle school students from the organization engaged in the annual practice of each reading a part of a written statement that outlines the charitable project for the year, what they've been doing to fundraise for it, and to ask the board for permission to hold the 5K walk on the town common. This year's mission is to raise awareness and money in support of teens and children with cancer. The students told the board they plan to give to organizations that work with the families of cancer patients, those that do cancer research, and directly help local families. They said their ambitious goal this year was to raise $20,000, both by fundraisers like the upcoming walk, and also to be seeking sponsorships from local businesses. The members of the board were more than happy to grant permission to use the town common and praised the students for their involvement in Teen Light. This week's Disney live-action remake of the animated classic Beauty and the Beast hits theaters. BNews entertainment reporter Chris Flaherty paid a visit to AMC Theaters in Burlington on opening night to see how excited moviegoers were to see this new take on a tale as old as time.
You'll join me for dinner. That's not a request.
Gently, Master. The girl lost her father and her freedom in one day.
Be gentle.
Kind.
Charming.
Sweet.
And when she opens the door, give her a dashing debonair smile. Come, come, show me the smile. Oh, my dear.
Hi everybody, Chris Flaherty here at the AMC Theaters in Burlington. The past few years, Walt Disney Pictures has started a trend where it's taking some of its beloved animated classics and remaking them into live-action films. And tonight, the biggest one of all, Beauty and the Beast hits theaters. Now, Beauty and the Beast is a very popular Disney film, so naturally expectations are very high. And we're gonna take a look around, talk to some audience members, and see what they're thinking before the movie starts. Now, what does the original Beauty and the Beast mean to you? Is it a favorite Disney film?
Favorite, absolute favorite, yeah.
What's your favorite song from that film?
Be Our Guest. Yeah.
Are you excited to see what they do with it in the live action?
I am excited to see how it is. I don't want it to be disappointed and be bad.
Do you have a favorite song or character from the film?
Be Our Guest. Yeah, that's my favorite song. Pretty excited to see that, how they do that in the new one. Do you like
I think it's the fair of love, but acceptance of it.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. So what was your initial reaction when you heard they're remaking Beauty and the Beast?
I was wondering who was gonna play Belle. I was kind of nervous on because some remakes never end up being as good as the originals, especially if you're making a live action from an animated movie. So, but I'm very excited.
I don't know. I was wondering how they would do, how they would make it like the original, but modern, more current.
Adapted.
Yeah,
Times.
yeah. Because I got to see it when I was in college. So, yeah.
Have you seen the original?
I'm not sure.
Yes,
Sure.
she has. We have it at home. Yeah.
Michelle, what does the original Beauty and the Beast mean to you?
my legitimate life. Not even being sarcastic. My whole room's covered in Belle. She's my girl.
It's a great movie. I don't blame you.
No, it's the best movie ever.
So your expectation, it is the best movie ever. So obviously your expectations for this remake are very high.
Sky high.
Sky high, I like that.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite Disney things, and I love Disney so much.
Me too. Is there a favorite song or scene you're looking forward to seeing tonight in the remake?
We actually just saw it.
Oh, you just saw
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Don't spoil it.
We won't spoil it.
Okay. But is there a favorite part from the movie?
So the part at the beginning where she's in the field singing about like how she wants adventure.
Oh yeah.
I actually started tearing up during it because I was like, Emma Watson is another one of my big role models. She was Hermione, and so seeing her as Belle, it was just everything was brought together, and it was so perfect, and I started crying.
So she nailed it, is what you're saying?
Yes, she nailed it.
We're excited to see Emma Watson play Belle. She's a very classy woman, so it's a good example, I think, for little kids.
Do you have a favorite character from the movie? Is it Belle? You make me guess. Is it Beast?
It's Cinderella.
Cinderella? I don't know, she could cameo in this. I don't know, this is a new version. So naturally, everyone is very excited. Unfortunately, my tickets aren't until Saturday night, but Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney film, so I am very excited to see what they do with this live-action remake. So until next time, this is Chris Flaherty, and remember, no spoilers.
There are a lot of talented students in Burlington, and here is another perfect example. BHS senior Sidra Apzal talked to us about her newly released book, Wildflowers. Check out the interview.
So I'm here in the lower library at Burlington High School with a young author. Tell me about, first of all, introduce yourself and tell us who you are.
My name is Sidra Apzal. I go to Burlington High. I'm a senior here, and I recently published this book. It's called Wildflowers. It's a compilation of my poetry and art.
And just to talk about how long did it take you to put this together, and how long you've been sort of wanted to, write a book?
Well, I've wanted to write a book since I was in grade 1, and I experienced a lot of emotional turmoil while making this book. I had 3 heart attacks, cried 3 times, and a lot of hours were spent into this, a lot of hard work, and it was basically my entire February break, all for this book.
Yeah, well, and so it's a compilation of poetry and drawing or sketches you have in there.
Art as well, yes.
And art. All right, very good. And where can people find it if they want to check it out?
They can buy it on Amazon. It's on Amazon.
And give us the title again.
Wildflowers.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Another talented young person here at Burlington High School.
Thank you.
Spring starts next week, so the question is, will it start to feel like spring weather? We go now to BNews weatherman Peter Brown and our weather center for this week's forecast. We'll also check out the community calendar with Ian Casciola to see what's happening in town.
Well, hello everyone. This is Peter Brown with a look at your weather for the upcoming period, the next 7 days. And I hope you all survived the massive snowstorm, which actually didn't turn out to be nearly as bad as everybody had expected. Actually, our original forecast here at BCAT was not far from the mark. We were calling for 6 to 10 inches of snow, and we got about 11 inches around the Burlington area, so we did pretty much A-okay with that forecast. Unfortunately, in the wake of that large snowstorm, look at the temperatures that we're going to start out on St. Patrick's Day with temperatures almost 15 degrees below average. So it's really going to feel like winter as we're starting to head into the latter half of March. So unfortunately, even though spring's only a couple of days away, we are going to have that winter feeling here for actually quite a long period of time, maybe the next 10 days or so. However, of course, since we turned the clocks ahead this past Sunday, isn't it great now how late the sun is up at night? We're having daylight till almost 7 o'clock at night, so that's a great bit of news, that's for sure, amongst all this cold and snow. As we move ahead, I'm going to show you a little bit about what's going to be going on with our weather for the next 7 days or so. And what you're going to notice here is, here's this big snowstorm that passed by the Burlington area a couple of days ago. That's actually going to get stuck up off of northeastern Canada, and it's going to keep spinning some cold air down here into the New England area. And we're also going to see a series of weak disturbances rotating around that main low. So As we get into the weekend, getting into Saturday and the first half of Sunday, we may have to contend with a little bit of snow around here in the Burlington area. We're not looking at anything significant, but again, keep in mind, if you're out doing any activities on Saturday morning, we might be dealing with a total of maybe 2 to 3 inches of snow. So something to keep in mind. Winter is still definitely here, and March is proving no exception to this rule, that's for sure, as these two systems rotate on by. As we move ahead, I'm going to show you a little bit about what's going to be going on in the next couple of days. And as many of you may know, Monday morning at 6:29 in the morning actually is the official start of spring. Now, what this means is this is called the vernal equinox, and that basically means that there is 12 hours of daylight from pole to pole on the planet. Actually, everywhere you go, no matter where you are, length of day is 12 hours, and the length of night is also 12 hours. This also means that the northern hemisphere is going to start rotating closer towards the sun's rays, meaning that we'll be seeing a gradual warm-up as we get into the next few months. So that's definitely something to get excited about and something to look forward to. And as we move ahead, I'm going to show you a little bit about what's going to be going on with our weather in the 7-day forecast as we have here, starting out St. Patrick's Day on Friday. If you're out having dinner that night, if you're in town in Boston or out here in Burlington in the district, plan on some very chilly weather. You're going to need a very heavy winter coat, especially if you're out at night. Temperatures are going to be going down to the mid-teens again. And again, as we get into Saturday and Sunday, we're introducing that chance of snow again. Again, nothing heavy at this point, but again, expect maybe as much as 2 or 3 inches. So that might be something we have to keep an eye on for the next couple of days. And here we go, Monday, getting into the official start of spring. Unfortunately, it's not going to feel like spring. It's really going to still feel like winter. And as you see, as we head on towards the end of the period, look at this. By the time we get to Thursday, temperature's still pretty chilly in the low 30s. And there actually is an indication that maybe by the beginning of our next period, going into the 24th to 25th time frame of March, there is a potential that we could have another storm around here. And it looks like it could be kind of chilly with snow again. So, folks, we know that the official start of spring is on Monday. It looks like, though, winter's here to stay with us for the time being. But I hope you get out there, enjoy your weekend, and have a great week.
Hello, and welcome to your community calendar. Are you looking for something to do in town? On Thursday, March 23rd from 7 to 10 p.m., Chops American Bar and Grill is having Carlin Tripp to come perform at Chops. Carlin Tripp is an American songwriter drawing from a life spent roaming this great country, seeking out rare experiences and making new friends along the way. His songs reflect on love lost, love found, and the trials and joys we all face in our day-to-day existence. Everyone is welcomed. For more info, visit chopsamericanbarandgrill.com or call 781-221-6643. Learn some interesting facts about rescue dogs. On Saturday, March 25th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having Mark 9, Search and Rescue, come and talk about their rescue dogs and how they saved lives. They will also discuss basic wilderness safety, and you'll get to meet one of the Mark 9 rescue dogs. The event is free, and it is a family-friendly event, but might be best for ages 3 and older. For more info, visit burlington.org or call 781-270-1690. Parents, do your children like reading golden books? On Saturday, March 25th at 11 a.m., the Barnes & Noble is having a Make-Your-Own Golden Book and Story Time. This year it is a celebration of the 75th anniversary of the famous book series, The Little Golden Books. And to celebrate their anniversary, kids will get to create their own little golden book to take home. There will also be a story time, and they will be reading the Sesame Street Golden Book, as the monster at the end of this book starring Grover. Everyone is welcomed, and the event is free. For more info, visit barnesandnoble.com or call 781-273-3871. This has been your community calendar. I'm Ian Casciola. Back to you in the studio.
One place where there is always a lot happening is the Senior Center. We go now to Council on Aging Director Marge McDonald for the latest senior news.
Hi everyone. With one storm over and another on its way, it sure doesn't feel very spring-like, but nevertheless, spring is on its way. We have postponed our 6-week program, The Savvy Caregiver, until March 29th. It will go until May 3rd from 1 to 3 p.m. Taking care of a person living with Alzheimer's disease or other dementia-related illness is specialized work. To do this successfully, you need special skills and knowledge to care for your loved one and a positive attitude that helps you to care for yourself. To sign up for this course, please call me at 270-1953. On Monday, March 20th at 1 p.m., we will have a presentation on Falun Gong, which combines mediation and Qigong exercises. On Wednesday, the 22nd, Karen Halloran from Care One Concord will be at the Senior Center with Name That Tune, and lunch will be served. You must sign up in advance so we can give her a count. On March 27th at 1 p.m., District Attorney Marian Ryan will be presenting her grandparent program, which discusses opioids and keeping you and your grandchildren safe from them. She will talk about the far-reaching effects of the opioid crisis, as well as ways to safeguard your own medication from theft, how to dispose of unused medication, and how to identify signs of drug addiction in a loved one, as well as how to guide them to help. On Tuesday the 28th at 10 a.m., Town Administrator John Petrin will be at the Senior Center to discuss the renovations to the Human Services Building. Come find out what is being done and when it will happen. On March 29th at 1:30, we will have the candidates for Selectman, Moderator, Planning, and Recreation to hear their views on topics of interest to seniors in Burlington. This year, the afternoon will be moderated by lifelong Burlington resident and Burlington Area Chamber of Commerce President Rick Parker. There are still some tickets available for the seniors' senior prom on Thursday, April 6th from 6 to 10 p.m. at the Hilton Garden Inn on Wheeler Road. Tickets for residents are $10 and $12 for non-residents. The COA buses are available for those who don't like to drive at night. Also, just a note that I will be at Stonebridge at Burlington on a panel discussion entitled Taking Charge, What Does Your Next 10 Years Look Like on March 22nd at noon. Ellen Sullivan of Home Transition Resource and Wendy Guthrow, elder law attorney, will join me on the panel. Refreshments will be served, and I will be reviewing the opportunities, possibilities, and concerns that aging brings, including safety, socialization, health, and wellness. I will also talk about transitioning into retirement. RSVP by calling 781-272-0080. And last but not least, just a reminder that we are the Not Your Average Joe's, Not Your Average Cause for the month of March. Every Tuesday in March, eat in or take out all day, and 15% of your food bill will be donated to the Council on Aging. That's all for now. I'm Marge McDonald, and I hope to see you at the Senior Center.
Finally this week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo is a look at some of the beauty of the natural world that can be found right here in Burlington. It was sent in by Paul Gerard and is of the sky at dusk over Joanne Road and was taken on March 1st. Thanks you for the photo, Paul. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of something you see around town, the weather outside your door, or even photos of your family members, friends, and pets. Whatever you think is interesting and would like to share, we'd like to see. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org. In the subject line, please print Photo of the Week. Okay, that's it from the news desk here at BNews Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNews Director Rich Hosford, BNews reporter Chris Flaherty, Peter Brown with the weather, Ian Casciola with the Community Bulletin Board, and Marge McDonald with Senior News. Thank you for joining us.